and obviously with all the results he's put out there. But do you give Lyrics anything here? Do you give him a sniff?
I really find it hard to go against Tekkz. I was chatting to him before. I find myself always gravitating towards him to have a conversation before the tournament starts because he's always so negative, and I want to just see, is he going to be negative again? And he said, oh, you know what?
Isn't he superstitious?
He really is.
You got to keep it the same then.
He DM'd me saying, Kyle, I've not cut my hair. And I said, what? Why are you? What are you? He said, I've not lost a game, so I feel like if I cut my hair, I'm going to lose a game. And I got here this morning, I said, you won last week after you cut your hair. He said, I'm not going to lie, I didn't cut it. So he's still got long hair, that's why the hood's on, that's why he's got a cap on at all times as well, because he's not cut his hair because he thinks if he cuts it, he's going to lose. And
versatile going forward, and the way he manipulates the pitch is fantastic. However, I do know Lyrics is kind of one of his kryptonites. He does say to me quite often, I don't like playing against Lyrics because we've played so much online together. He knows how to beat me in certain elements. And Lyrics hasn't had a great couple of weeks, or a few weeks. He unfortunately didn't qualify to represent England, the E-Lions. He fell there. He didn't get as far as he would have liked maybe in the E-Premier League for Tottenham as well. So maybe this is the tournament where he can show up. And if he could take down Tekkz in Swiss and go 2-0, he has a fantastic chance to make it into those knockout stages. He had a great first game. He scored the most goals out of anyone so far in the tournament in that first game, scoring 8. So he's got a good chance here against Tekkz.
Well, here we go then. Round number 2 of the Swiss is underway, and our first chance to look at the EPL champion and the 4-time in a row back-to-back-to-back-to-back champion in F2tekkz, of course, playing in that Liverpool kit.
And you know what Tekkz always likes to do off the get-go? Attack his opponent, try and assert dominance from the start of the game. But Lyrics has done very well to defend against him there. It's always difficult from the kickoff. You've just got to make sure you're switched on and you're focusing on every aspect.
Well, here we go. Lyrics with his first touch of the ball here, and he's going to spread it out wide. And I think it's a really interesting point that you brought up, Dan. These two play against each other a lot online, and sometimes just getting used to someone's play style. Not only does it help you out as a player, but it can confuse your opponent a little bit. F2tekkz might be thinking, hey, I play this guy all the time. I might have to do something different.
When we talk about being unpredictable for Tekkz, how can you be unpredictable against someone that you play against so often? And Tekkz, who is so often under scrutiny. Players are always watching his gameplay. How can I be as good as Tekkz? How can I take down Tekkz? He has to come up with something new at every event.
Well, here might be the first opportunity in the game as Ronaldo strikes it across goal. What it was Lyrics who unleashes the first shot. Didn't time it perfectly, but still forced a pretty decent save out of David De Gea down to his right-hand side. But fairly comfortable, to be honest with you. But this is the dangerous area here. Can Neymar beat Marcelo to the ball? One Brazilian beating the other for pace. And now Tekkz in the area he loves to do damage, finds Cristiano Ronaldo. Vieira down the edge, Marcelo of all players. Didn't quite time that perfectly, maybe some early tournament jitters there on the finish, but all players to find himself in that position, the left back. Probably not the one that you want at the end of it.
I like the confidence to just try and hit it though, no matter who the player is on the edge of the box. We do see them get smashed in sometimes. Because we look at the 11 foot items being used, they can all put the ball in the back of the net realistically. You can get them in a decent position. So I appreciate the confidence from Tekkz, and it's just kind of showing to Lyrics, I'm not afraid to shoot, so you have to close me down.
Here's Tekkz coming forward again, trying to get into those full-back areas that he loves to twist and turn and link a few skill moves together to try and unlock his opponent's defence, but well defended there by Lyrics. And now he can come forward. Cristiano Ronaldo. Couple of scoop turns, and that's a lovely ball in towards the front post. De Gea got beaten to that ball, and Lyrics showing that maybe he's got a few tricks up his sleeve here, Dan.
He definitely does have tricks and tips for everyone that plays FIFA. He is one of the best UK players around. I mean, you can see that on the leaderboards as well as in-game ability for him.
Neymar gets the ball back almost to R9 inside the box, and one thing I've loved about the start of this game, Dan, we're only 17 minutes in so far, but both players flowing forward, looking to create chances and attacking very directly in their play.
There's one thing that Tekkz actually surprises me with the way he plays FIFA. A lot of people say he sits back sometimes and he defends and he just waits and then he goes forward and he attacks. But if we look at the statistics from the first round, he had the most tackle attempts out of any player. And I feel like that shows that he has an aggressive defensive style. He wants to get in people's faces. He wants to take the ball. You can see he keeps switching the cursor to say, look, I'm going to try and win that ball from you early.
Well, if you don't win the ball early, you do have to make these last-ditch tackles, and it's Marcelo having to get back there, and actually wins the goal kick there with a good slide tackle. So the ball just ricocheted back off of Mbappe there for Lyrics, who was trying to escape down that right-hand side. Well, I think it's a very interesting point. Sometimes we see a lot of drop-back defending, a lot of players behind the ball at pro level, but Tekkz does try and win that ball high up the pitch. He does try and apply pressure and make everything as difficult as possible for you when going forward, not just defensively.
The reason why some players don't go for it is just because it leaves you vulnerable at the back if you do lunge in a little bit too much.
Well, here's Mbappe then looking to cause some trouble. Well defended again by Lyrics, and Lyrics isn't jumping into these tackles down at all.
No, he's the exact opposite at the moment. He's just kind of sitting back, he's letting Tekkz come at him, he's waiting, he's biding his time, and he's diving in at the right moments. He's being a little bit more precise with how he wants to tackle Tekkz. But it's working out as well. You can have varying styles, and both of them can be successful. It's just I feel like Tekkz is more comfortable with his goalkeeper movement, that he can take those risks with some of his defensive styles.
Well, here comes Lyrics then, coming forward. Cristiano Ronaldo, little cricketer, just shows too much of the ball there to Neymar, who does some good defensive work here for Tekkz, and now CR7 just holding the ball up, waiting for those runners from midfield. Ronaldo and a battle of strength there with Marcelo, and you can see who won that. Marcelo still currently recovering there on the floor after that encounter with Cristiano Ronaldo. Neymar again looking to link together a couple of little basic skill moves just to buy a bit of space, but again Lyrics just doing a great job of sticking to his man here, Dan.
Yeah, he's just not allowing Tekkz to get any easy space in and around that box, which is somewhat frustrating Tekkz, but it's always a scary factor if you do frustrate Tekkz, because then that's when he pulls out the skill moves, that's when he starts to get really creative and try and find a way to break in.
Mbappe then looks to put that ball towards the back post, where we have seen so many Cristiano Ronaldo's headers be won this season, but Lyrics with Thibaut Courtois in goal, maybe a thought there about how to defend against that?
Quite possibly. We've seen a couple of players already putting Courtois in goal. Clutch, for example, from the previous round. And yes, Courtois is a little bit taller than David De Gea. Maybe you can bring him out and you can control the goalkeeper so that he can grab that ball. He can win it in the air against some of these really aggressive header players like Cristiano Ronaldo. But then also, it's the frame and the reach that these players have. If they do connect with that header, he can just put his left hand or his right hand to those top corners to stop those headers going in. So I like the move personally, but there's always going to be downsides as well. Courtois doesn't get down to the floor as quick as David De Gea, for example. So if you go for those low drivens, he might be more vulnerable.
We'll have to see how these foot item choices play out for these players. So interesting to see, even this deep into the season here. As we say, the last Foot Champions Cup for FIFA 19. Players still making these changes of foot items, particular players that they favour and they like to use as the meta develops in game. But here comes Lyrics now. Space here for Mbappe. Varane has to step across there because Cristiano Ronaldo was in lots of space in the middle. But here's Ruud Gullit now, finding the ball back to Neymar. Little turn inside. Great ball to Ronaldo. What a save from De Gea there. And for all the talk about Courtois, it's the F2tekkz David De Gea who has to make the first big save of the game.
Yeah, sometimes you've just got to trust in what you're used to. And Tekkz has used De Gea for quite some tournaments now. Of course, won that tournament at the E-Premier League with Liverpool just a weekend ago. So he's going to be feeling confident in that man.
Well, Tekkz is looking to flow forward here. You saw a couple of accelerated fake shots around the corner, trying another one there with Cristiano Ronaldo. Drag backs are plenty here from Tekkz and all. That boy is just going to go out of play there as he was looking for that Elastico. Maybe one, maybe four. We never know how many are going to come out of the bag. But at half-time, Dan, not too many chances to speak of. Just that one big save coming out of De Gea for Tekkz. And you have to say that that was a very evenly balanced game.
It is an evenly balanced game. To be fair, it looks like a game of two players who know how to play against one another. And that's exactly what it is. It's two players who are well-practiced, well-drilled. And as we get further into the second leg, that's when we're going to start to see maybe more experimentation with tactics, with formations, and with just the style of play. You might see quicker attacks from Lyrics, for example. You might see him going for more standing tackles to try and win that ball back a lot earlier. But you've got to remember, this is a very different game for both players. For Tekkz, he's already got 9,000 odd points. He's already qualified for the playoffs.
Now, I think.
He'll guaranteed have 10,000 points after this event, which is crazy. But for Lyrics, he's trying to guarantee his spot at the E-World Cup. He's 12th at the moment. If he can get a really good event here, he could finish in that top 16 despite a poor performance at playoffs.
So much on the line for players at this tournament for different reasons. As you say, some trying to make their way into the playoffs or towards the E-World Cup final. Some players just looking to maybe solidify their places or put their name down as a favourite. And there's so much talent here on the stage on the Xbox. I'm just looking to the left-hand side of the stage as we obviously see the second half kicking off now. You have Tekkz sat next to MS Tassari, sat next to Megabit, who sat next to Dax. I mean, this is a scary amount of talent on the Xbox console here in London, and it's going to be a fascinating tournament to see who can really put their marker down for being that #1 moving towards the playoffs.
Yeah, we have 5 of the top 10 players here at this tournament, and that is going to be everyone kind of eyeing each other up, saying, well, who's going to have a good tournament out of us guys? Who's going to be the one to go up against tekkz? Who's going to be the person that's going to break into the top 10 maybe? And Lyrics is there, just sat outside of that top 10 ever so slightly. So maybe he's going to be the player to upset everyone at this tournament.
Ooh, there will be a free kick given away there. Lyrics might have actually had the chance there if the referee had let that one run for a chance at a shot, a goal, but the official decides to pull this one back for a free kick. Tossed in towards the box, towards that back post. Varane has to defend well against Cristiano Ronaldo, who is looking for a little bicycle kick towards that back post. Neymar now turning, and that's a fantastic ball in behind, and there's space here for Mbappe. tekkz coming forward here. Maybe the first opportunity of the game for him, and he puts it away. F2tekkz, once again, 1 shot, 1 goal. And that is going to be the deadlock broken. It's Kylian Mbappe.
The thing is, he had so much options there with Mbappe as well. We had so much space. He saw Cristiano Ronaldo darting towards that back post. Didn't flick it up, didn't go for the header. Ronaldo dropped off, which just brought a couple of defenders with him. Courtois was not moving anywhere. No goalkeeper movement from Lyrics. And tekkz taking full advantage of that, using that finesse just from outside the box, which Mbappe does so well. The Team of the Year foot item Mbappe is, in my opinion, the best foot item in the game. He has so much stamina, he has so much pace, he has the finishing ability. He's got everything.
And here comes tekkz again, maybe looking to double his lead. But that's what's so dangerous about tekkz. First shot of the game. Top corner, perfectly timed green. Perfect finesse shot from distance. And maybe that's something that would have caught Lyrics off guard a little bit, not expecting that finesse shot from distance, because we have seen it kind of filter its way out of the meta game a little bit compared to obviously early iterations of the game, early patches. So maybe that's tekkz thinking outside the box a little bit, as obvious as it might seem.
No, sometimes you've got to go for it. It is still going to go in like once out of, I don't know, 20 times. But if you can hit it timed green, it's going to increase those chances. If you have a foot item like Mbappe, it is going to increase those chances. You just got to make sure you have the right footing and your player is in the right position so he's not off balance or anything like that. And use the right foot, of course. That's always going to help out too.
Well, here's Hullet into Mbappe. Lovely quick pass in here from tekkz. Trying to jink his way past Sergio Ramos in the middle there with a drag back, maybe using that run just outside of him. That's a little decoy, but I feel a little bit sorry there for Lyrics. A little bit too much power on that pass, and that prime icon moments, Ronaldo in the middle there. Couldn't quite gather that pass because there was space in behind for him to attack there, Dan.
And sometimes when you see that space, you're desperate to play the pass. You want to play that risky ball because you're like, oh, this could be my opportunity. But you do have to remember that you've still got plenty of time left in this tie. It is across 2 legs. It's not just the one. So instead, you can play that ball back and just build up and be patient, and then you might be able to work down your opponent. However, it's very difficult when your opponent is F2tekkz, of course, and it's this left wing again that tekkz is trying to utilize.
Yeah, he's so dangerous, and that's a beautiful fake shot in behind Mbappe. The little combo, you saw the elastico there as well, but just couldn't get away from his man. You have to say, fantastic recovery tackle there from Lyrics.
So that's what makes tekkz so good. A lot of people say, well, why is tekkz the best in the world? It's how he chains together skill moves. He doesn't just do one repeatedly. He will chain together 3 or 4, 5 sometimes skill moves just to beat a man. He's so quick at reacting to the defensive position of his opponent that he knows exactly which move he wants to use, and that's what makes him good.
15 minutes left in the first leg then of this game. Still only 1 goal to divide the 2 players. But it has been tekkz growing into this game, and again, just looking to attack that fullback position. This time, Lyrics manages to position his defender appropriately to intercept that ball before it reached Mbappe. But it is a conscientious decision, isn't it, from tekkz? Every single time you see him go forward, he loves favouring that left-hand side and Kylian Mbappe.
Also, maybe taking advantage of this right-back position that everyone seems to be undecided on. Am I going to play Ramos there? Am I going to play Varane there? Is Van Dijk going to come in? It's not a natural right back, so you can take advantage of them. They are going to have weaknesses. Sometimes these fullbacks, when you put them, when you put these centre backs in fullback positions, they do come inside a little bit. It's almost like they're just magnetised to their natural centre back position. It is quite strange.
Well, here's a ball in behind there from tekkz. Maybe a chance to double the lead. Does time the shot. But it was a fantastic recovery tackle there, actually. I believe it was Sergio Ramos who was sliding in there to make that last ditch tackle there for Lyrics. And in these 2-leg games, Dan, we do know that 1 goal isn't too much, to be honest with you. You could easily come back from that in the second leg. And if you could maybe nick a goal towards the end of the game, you really can set yourself up nicely for an exciting second leg. But Tekkz defends well, but it looks like the referee will call that one back, possibly for an offside there, and you're going to see some changes coming in here, just some fresh legs on the pitch.
And Tekkz had a very close game in his first round of Swiss as well. He only won 4-3 on aggregate against Play Arty, and that was maybe not a game that he would expect to be that close. Maybe he would expect to be doing a lot better, but the crazy thing with Tekkz, and when he goes ahead, is he's not used to being ahead in so many situations. How many games have we seen him go a goal down, a 2-goal down, and then he just comes back into life? Maybe having a 1-goal lead is actually a good thing for Lyrics. Maybe you might be saying, all right, well, if I can keep Tekkz at bay and make him feel comfortable at one goal, that's when then I can break in the second leg and maybe I can catch him by surprise.
So you can see those changes in personnel on the top left-hand side of your screen there. For both players, I believe, bringing on some fresh legs. And this might be the last potential attack of the game here for Lyrics. We saw how Tekkz in the EPL, that famous last-second winner, it's kind of recycled possession all the way back to his goalkeeper to ensure he had the last attack. Lyrics doing something pretty similar here, just making sure that he keeps hold of possession down.
You don't want to give it away and just give a breakaway in that last chance to Tekkz, because your defenders are slightly out of position, and Tekkz will expose that if you do give the ball away, and that's what's happened here.
And you can see now Tekkz trying to burst around, but Luka Modric steps in, and maybe there is still time here for Lyrics to have another attack. Mbappe finds the ball inside, but Ronaldo couldn't find the ball to Palais, who was fresh on the pitch. And after the first leg, it's no surprise to say that F2tekkz, the man on your screen right now, is leading over Lyrics, but just the 1 goal here, Dan. And it was such a tight game.
And it was really tough for Tekkz as well. Lyrics made it very difficult. Yeah, okay, he sat off a little bit. He tried to encourage Tekkz to run into certain areas, and then he always does that, by the way. It's a very mental thing.
It's pure superstition.
It's both superstition for himself, but it's also mind games against your opponent. You've got to make them sit there and wait and think about that whole first leg. So now, literally, Lyrics going to be going, well, what have I got to do differently in the second leg? He's going to be thinking all the things we're talking about right now, maybe even overthinking. And Tekkz, I mean, he's a very smart individual for someone who's 17 years old. I mean, we saw that the Twitch drops saw Maldini be the drop. He was 16 when he first started playing. Familiar for Tekkz, 16 as well, and both of them maybe could be on to be the great careers of FIFA and real football.
That's very, very true. Well, hopefully we can get the second leg underway. No real surprises in the other scores that we saw from the first round of the Swiss format as well, Dan. All the favourites, no real upsets. All the favourites, as you say, picking up the wins they expected. And for those players who are kind of sitting outside those playoff spots at the moment and those E-World Cup spots, the pressure just gets ramped up even more. You know, with this being the final tournament of the year, as far as majors are concerned, those points are only available one more time for them outside of the playoffs. So even in the Swiss now, round 2, they're starting to think, oh, God, you know, the pressure's back on. I need to win now. I need to make this happen.
Yeah, Tekkz is playing for prize money. He's playing for pride. He's playing for the 5 back-to-back trophies that he really wants to be able to achieve. He's playing for himself. However, it's slightly different for the likes of everyone else in the tournament, and Lyrics especially. He's on 1,528 Global Series ranking points at the moment. We're kind of estimating around 2,200 might get you to the E-World Cup, to get you into that top 16. So he needs a big tournament here to really solidify himself in that top 16.
You can see second leg very much underway then. Again, it'll be Tekkz in the Liverpool home kit. Mbappe now, a couple of drag backs from him. Just planting that seed of doubt into his opponent defensively. Ramos, that's a great tackle there as Ronaldo was looking to scoop turn away from his man. But Marcelo again biting into the tackle, and Tekkz winning the ball back again, pretty much in his opponent's half, and that's just stifling defensive play from him.
Both of them are defending very similarly, though, in the fact they're attacking the back of the striker or the attacker because they're expecting a drag back. Because the drag back is such a popular skill move, it's one of the best skill moves to get around the defenders. If you attack the back of them, you can stop that from happening. Suddenly they can't do that drag back, so it's about reacting. If you see them attacking the back, you have to go for a different skill move.
A little bit of a mistake there in midfield has given possession back to Tekkz, and Neymar's inside the box, twisting and turning. Ball rolls across the edge of the 6-yard box, but nobody there for Tekkz to just have the easiest possible finish that they could wish for. And that was a little mistake in the midfield there from Lyrics, just gave possession away. Tekkz couldn't make it count as far as the goal was concerned, but sometimes make a little bit of a mistake like that and getting away with it can kind of refocus you back inside the second leg.
You're going to make mistakes in a game of FIFA. Everyone is human. Everyone's going to make mistakes. Maybe Tekkz not a human. I don't know what Tekkz is. But people do make mistakes, and that's scary. The thing is, we see a lot of mistakes happen against Tekkz because he forces them. He pressures you. He does go in for those standing tackles. He does put his players in difficult situations for your opponent to try and pass around. So he forces those mistakes out of his opponent, and you've just got to say, all right, I've made those mistakes. I push on. There wasn't a goal cause from it. Maybe I won't make another in this game.
Well, there is that prime icon moments. Maldini there having to make a tackle, and it's a block coming in here. You can see there's some frustration starting to appear on the face of Lyrics here. With just 20 minutes gone in this game. Needs to keep his composure here. Needs to keep his head together. Long time left to get back in this game.
Passing stat. Very good from both players. We often see some of these top players just getting passing statistics in the high 90s, and that is very scary.
Well, it will win that header defensively here to get the ball away. And now you're seeing an opportunity to break. Look how many players are ahead of the ball here for Lyrics, but unfortunately, again, that pass just didn't find its target. Moving forward, 2 slide tackles there from Tekkz will send the ball out of play, and that just gives his defense a chance to get back into position. Lyrics, though, coming forward quickly. Ronaldo turning into Vieira, but that's a really loose touch from him. You saw a wry little smile on the face of Lyrics as well. He feels a little bit hard done by that.
Yeah, Vieira just ahead of the ball, unfortunately, so not able to secure it, and it's just one of those things. Lyrics couldn't do anything differently there. Maybe played the pass a tiny bit earlier, but even so, Vieira was already on that run, but here he is again, and Lyrics looks scary going forward.
Yeah, this is a beautiful, smooth, silky bit of play here from Lyrics, and what a goal that is to tie it up. Beautiful build-up play. Great through ball, and a great pass there to find Ruud Gullit, the left foot, the 5-star weak foot, finds the back of the net. There's a little reminder to Tekkz that you're playing against one of the best in the world still.
It's not often I get to say it, but that was a Gullit bullet for sure. Gullit gets into those scary areas. He can finish them, and you've just got to take those shots. I was commending Tekkz in the opening of this tie, saying he was shooting with the likes of Marcelo. Well, with Gullit, you definitely have to pull that trigger. We didn't see enough of it in the early stages of the season when people were playing with just the normal icon of Gullit. We didn't see it enough. I wanted to see more shots taken with him because he has an absolute rifle. But now he's been updated to that prime icon moment. He's even better, and he can finish just like that.
Yeah, you've just seen a perfect example. I was about to say a prime example, but then I avoided the punt. But Tekkz is looking to answer straight back here, and Mbappe, you can see the early goalkeeper movement coming in from Lyrics there. And now, having won the ball back, oh, it's a beautiful little fake shot and a fantastic finish. And having worked so hard to get back on level turns, Tekkz just reminds us that when he gets into these areas, he's so dangerous in front of goal.
That first time fake shot that he does so much with Mbappe out on the left, and he does it with several players in the middle, is absolutely deadly. Because once it's happened and your player has been beaten, there is no coming back from it. The players are nowhere near the ball. They can't drag the defender back. Your only option is a slide tackle to bring them down, which you're not going to do in the box, of course. You don't want to give away a penalty. And you're completely right. Lyrics had to do so much to get back into this game, and Tekkz again demonstrates why he's the best in the world and how quickly he can answer back as soon as someone challenges him.
Just that ability to find that spark, and I mean spark in the way that he does something that none of us are expecting to see. You know, he had the opportunity to strike it there with R9, but a little fake shot just inside his man just made the chance percentage even higher. And then having got into that position, times the finish perfectly as well to beat the goalkeeper. Just some of the things that Tekkz can do and has been demonstrating to us for the entirety of FIFA 19 so far now.
That's what the top players are good at doing, though, Mark, is they are percentage-based players. They will take the percentage shot which they feel like is best.
Ball towards the back post, and Ronaldo wins the header against Marcelo. Beats Courtois. And I'm sure it's not the first time we'll say it this weekend, Dan. Cristiano Ronaldo wins that back post header.
Percentages again, though. He's got the ball on the left-hand side with Mbappe. He sees Ronaldo in that back post position. He knows he's been in this position before. He knows he can play that cross, and he knows that Cristiano Ronaldo has a very high percentage of winning that header, which, of course, he does, because who's he going up against? Marcelo at left-back. I've said it all season long. I hate Marcelo at left-back because he's so vulnerable. But at the same time, it seems like whoever you put there in that left-back position, Ronaldo is just too good, he's just too strong, he's too tall, and he heads too well.
It's very, very true. It's very difficult to deal with. You almost have to try and negate the cross before it comes into the box to give yourself the best way of defending those particular situations. But now that, you know, we've seen two ways to really get the ball into the box. You've seen that El Tornado to turn back inside on yourself and get the ball in the air to cross towards the back post. But now we're seeing the little flick up as well being introduced. It means that you're kind of guessing. You kind of got to go 50-50. Do I go back inside as a defender in the fullback position? Do I, you know, stay with the way that the player's trying to attack the line? It's so much more difficult. And again, it's just that constant evolution of players' attacking styles here on display. And Tekkz showing again that he knows every single way to eke out a goal in FIFA 19. And now he's up by 2 on aggregate just as we approach the half-time whistle. And Mbappe now trying to go past one man. Lyrics stood up to his task well there. But at the half-time break, you can see Tekkz is really starting to flex his muscles a little bit here.
Just to go back to your previous point about El Tornadoes and now the flick-up as well, the reason why we're seeing the flick-up being used so much is because good defensive players have started to negate the El Tornado. They've realized how to defend against it by putting that man behind, by cutting inside and making that tackle during the El Tornado animation. So players had to just look for something else to do. And it's kind of evolved into this now, this little flick-up. And good defenders will find a way to counteract it. They will say, all right, now this is how I defend against it. And maybe then people will go back to El Tornadoes. That is metas. That's how they evolve. That's how they change. But it's just amazing to see some of these good attacking players develop in really utilizing the new meta strategy each tournament long.
So 45 minutes left in our second round of the Swiss format here for Lyrics to try and find a couple of goals here to equalize against F2tekkz. Good tackle there from Lyrics, and he'll bring the ball away here with Neymar. At what point do you think we see the changes here, Dan?
Probably around 50, 60. I mean, I would have said do it at half-time, considering you're 2 goals down. But, of course, there is dynamic tactics in FIFA 19. He could just switch things up and change formation with just the click of a button, which we might not be able to see necessarily, depending on which screen we're on. But that's something that Lyrics will definitely have available. But there's that pause now to guarantee the change of tactics and the change of personnel, if he would like to change things up quite drastically.
Also, if the ball goes out of play, because Tekkz is looking to add another one here before that pause might even be cued. But the Lyrics defends it well again now, coming away with R9. Attacking through the midfield, beautiful little bit of footwork there from Lyrics. Neymar turns back inside, slips it through the legs of Rio Ferdinand, but the big frame of the Englishman, who's been an ever-present pretty much for Tekkz in that centre-back position I was going to say all tournament long, all season long so far in FIFA 19. Once again shows his worth and wins possession back for him once more.
And possession has been something that's been very dominant for Tekkz in this second leg. He was up in the 60% range in the early stages of the first half and towards half-time as well. So that's something that maybe Lyrics needs to look at and say, all right, how can I stop Tekkz from having so much possession? You can see they're playing with the 4-4-2 now, with the 2 attacking wingers. I really like the 4-4-2, but I also like it as a defensive formation. I like the way that your attacking players kind of sit on the halfway line and really stop your opponent pushing out of their own half. But Lyrics doesn't really need that right now. He needs the ability to hold on to the ball and to be able to generate several different attacks to try and catch Tekkz off guard. I would prefer a 4-2-2 or a 4-3-3, but it's all down to player comfort. It's about what they're used to, what they're practiced with. And I'm excited to see how much Lyrics throws here. How much he throws at Tekkz and says, all right, I'm ready for this. I'm not just going to go down. I'm not going to roll over and show my belly and let you have this victory. Because we know that Lyrics, he needs good results.
Yeah, and it's a win-loss record, isn't it, in Swiss? It doesn't matter if you lose the game by, you know, however many. Exactly. It doesn't really matter. You've got to try and find a way back into this game, and you've got to get those goals on the board, and you've got to get them quickly. Because you're only going to get a certain amount of attacks left in this game before that result does become an eventuality. So Lyrics has got to change things here. Maybe a 3-at-the-back formation. We have seen that become even more of a starting formation for a lot of players as well. I mean, you've got those pace in the centre-backs now, haven't you? You've got so many foot items with 80-plus pace into that centre-back position. They can kind of cover those spaces in behind.
Not just that, the wingers in a 3-5-2 can also come back and they can join the defence. And we've seen with Foot Birthday foot items being released, the differences in positions that have been offered there as well allows for more creative formation sometimes. TAS at the E-Premier League was playing that 3-5-2 or 5-3-2, depending on whether he was winning or losing. It was really nice to see those switches.
Well, here comes Lyrics forward. Hullet on the edge of the box. Luka Modric now. Unfortunately just loses the ball, but again it's the pressure from Tekkz. He's not letting Lyrics get anywhere near his 18-yard box. He's always trying to win the ball back before he gets into those dangerous positions. And now we can stream forward. There's a man inside here. Vieira finds Mbappe. The fellow Frenchman tries to turn inside, and you're quite happy to see a corner going your way for Tekkz with a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, Tekkz wasn't particularly pleased with that run of play. He knew he had more to offer on the wing, but unfortunately just couldn't do anything. But now, there's a nice back post cross, but thankfully Courtois using his frame, using his height to push that one away, which is exactly the reason why he's in the team. But you can see Tekkz still has possession, Mark. He's still generating pressure. He's still going forward and looking for more. And that's scary.
Well, Lyrics might have a chance here to come forward. You can see there is space in behind him for Mbappe. Wonder if the goalkeeper was going to come and maybe challenge him, but Mbappe now has space for Lyrics, but just shows too much of that ball to Patrick Vieira. And you don't need to ask him twice. He'll always snap into a tackle in the midfield. And now Tekkz is straight up the other end again with Mbappe, using his pace to get in behind towards the back post. Van Dijk wins the header. And maybe if Virgil van Dijk was in there the first time instead of Marcelo, then that second goal wouldn't have even happened.
I mean, we've both been calling for Van Dijk at left back for quite some time, but you've also got chemistry issues as well. But I'm sure players could work out a way to actually smooth that out and make sure that players still have a decent level of chemistry. But Lyrics now finally exposing those fullback positions, which is what I said he should have been doing from the get-go. It's about just actually trying to get into the box, though. It was a fantastic tackle from Tekkz. You said he was offered too much space, and yeah, okay, Patrick Vieira in real life would always go for it, but it's the fact that Tekkz has actually looked at it and said, oh, that's enough ball, I can make this slide tackle. We don't see many slide tackles from a lot of players in FIFA 19, so that shows that not only is Tekkz fantastic at reading the situations offensively, but he also is very good at reading them defensively as well.
So 15 minutes left in this game. For Lyrics to try and turn this one around, Tekkz is looking to go 2-0 in the Swiss format. Of course, it'd be 1-1 for Lyrics if he does unfortunately fall in this game. Looking across at some of the results from the other games as well, we can see Marcus Gomes and FaZe TaS in the first leg was tied up at 2-2. Rafsu and #Harry again 2-2. Megabit picking up the win over Ajax Joey, though, 2-0.
And the game that we originally were going to be watching on stream between Dax and Goal Machine, currently that's a 2-0 lead for Dax after the first leg as well. So that's just going to be a really good opportunity for Dax to show what he's made of in this tournament. If he can take down Goal Machine, if he can carry on this fine form, we've seen Dax fall in console finals. Maybe this could be the tournament we see him finally reach across console final.
I'm certainly a big Dax fan in the way that he plays FIFA 19, so I'll certainly be keeping an eye on those results as we move through the tournament. But here comes Lyrics then. You have seen the change in tactics for him. Just 13 minutes of regulation time left in this game for him to find a couple of goals. Modric comes forward. Great strength from the Croatian there. Vieira again positioned perfectly there by Tekkz. And the space there in behind for Mbappe was something you almost dream of, but unfortunately the pass wasn't made. And Lyrics can come forward again. Needs to make something happen now, though, Dan.
A couple of scary attacks from Lyrics, though, which might just lure Tekkz into playing a little bit of pass it around the pitch now. Eat away at that clock a little bit, because he'll look at top left and say, all right, this game's won. If I keep the ball away from Lyrics now, there's no chance of him getting back into this, and you can see that. Good play from right to left, just recycling that ball, switching from one side to the other. And really good time management from Tekkz now, and maybe he'll top off with a goal.
Yeah, look at this. There's a ball across here to Ronaldo. There is the finish. And F2tekkz strikes again. 4-1 now on aggregate, 3-1 now in this game. And he was just waiting. He knew that Lyrics had to commit players. He knew that he was trying to win the ball back, and he was just waiting for that space to open. And no surprise to see that 2v1 situation when the one's the goalkeeper. Tekkz is never going to miss those.
It was the way Tekkz just paused for a second with Marcelo on the left-hand side and was like, all right, how far are you going to come at me here, Lyrics? What are you going to open up? Which gaps are you going to present to me that I can expose? He saw them, and he gets rewarded with that goal. And that is going to kill off this tie. Tekkz is going to be able to get the lead. With a shot, nothing short of a miracle, of course, from Lyrics. But we know that Tekkz has closed out so many of these games now. It was a good effort from Lyrics in the first leg, and I thought when he got that goal back, I was like, all right, okay, we're in for a game here. But Tekkz, again, just demonstrating his experience throughout this season of just instantly responding and just not giving his opponent a sniff.
And I've just seen a Steven Gerrard being introduced to the game as well, on for Neymar in that cam position as well. So maybe he's looking to add another goal to Steven Gerrard's tally. for competitive FIFA 19. Ronaldo into Steven Gerrard! Oh, and he hits the upright. Big smile on Tektz's face.
Maybe not the same smile on Lyric's face, because it does just add insult to injury a little bit when you see your opponent kind of having fun with themselves, because they know how far they are ahead. But Tekkz is a showman, he's an entertainer, and he's a massive Liverpool fan as well, so he just wants to get that goal with Stevie G.
Into stoppage time then, and it looks like the Tektz's train will keep on rolling here in London in round 2 of the Swiss format. And you know what he's looking for here. Ronaldo into Vieira, Ronaldo back, outside this time to Mbappe. Just eating the clock down, trying to find that ball back inside, and that will be the end of it. F2tekkz picks up his second win of the tournament in the Swiss format and keeps that perfect record intact.
A relatively comfortable game as well for Tekkz. There were slight signs of a little bit of maybe hesitancy in the early stages, and Lyric's able to answer back, but then once Tekkz was able to find control, once he was able to respond to that initial goal from Lyrics, he really did seize the game and just cut out and really deprive Lyrics of any possession, of any sort of chances. And who's going to stop that man? Who is going to stop F2tekkz? Is it going to be a 5th tournament back-to-back? Or is he going to fall to the likes of Dasari, maybe Dax, maybe Megabit? There are plenty of players here who are just biting and nipping at his heels.
You can see another win on the board here for Tekkz. All smiles when he's winning, as you would be. And it was a conclusive performance, as we previously said. But it's almost like you're saying, who is going to beat Tekkz? Who is going to beat Tekkz? It's almost, can anyone beat Tekkz at the moment? Because it's not only the way he's playing, it's not like he's scraping out victories. Every tournament that he's still managing to get better and better. And the flaws that we saw in his game earlier in the season, they've been kind of moved away as well. Like, he's got better, he's got those flaws out of his game, and he just keeps getting better.
All right, well, we're going to jump into Marcus Gomes versus TAS, I believe.